Yo, 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 yo,
Yo.
yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to Brent Lab, where we turn obstacles into opportunities and anxiety into strength. Today we're diving into a bit of a counterintuitive idea. Sometimes, especially when you're having severe anxiety, a little bit of apathy may be exactly what you need. We'll explore how our culture and conditioning often push us to place way too much value on things that aren't truly important, and how adopting a less is more mindset can bring more clarity and peace. By the end of this video, you'll be better equipped to decide what you want out of life and let go of the things that you don't. The value trap. So first things first, we need to understand why overvaluation breeds anxiety. Often our fear, anxiety, tension, and panic come from placing way too much value on things that, in the grand scheme of life, aren't as critical as we think. Our culture teaches us to care deeply about so many things: social status, material success, other people's opinions, and this can create immense pressure. Gang, this is the classic tale of material or temporal values versus spiritual or secular values. When we invest all of our energy into material concerns, we often find ourselves more anxious, stressed, and just overall less fulfilled. Gang, we did a video called Exercise is the Best Medicine, which looked at how exercise performed as a treatment for anxiety versus how psychiatric medication performed as a treatment for anxiety. If you haven't seen that yet, you can watch that here. But as I was doing the research for that video, it occurred to me, I wonder if the countries that place the most value, energy, and time into exercise are also the least anxious countries in the world. And in doing that research, I actually discovered that it's the wealthiest countries in the world that are also the most anxious. So this is a tough conclusion to draw from just the small amount of research that I did, but I saw that and it kind of occurred to me, I wonder if the most materialistic countries are also the most anxious. But regardless of that, I think the takeaway there is we need to have a spiritual component in our lives. And the spiritual path teaches us that we need to seek fulfillment from within rather than in external things. The power of apathy. I want to be perfectly clear about something. When we're talking about apathy here, we're not talking about giving up on life or being lazy. Instead, we're talking about being selectively caring. It's recognizing that not everything deserves our emotional energy. By adopting a little bit of apathy in this sense, we can take a step back, breathe, and realize that not every problem is a critical life or death situation. In a sense, it's detaching yourself from things. And a mandatory condition of detaching yourself from things is a radical acceptance of the way that they are. In other words, being motivated and driven to have an impact, but being accepting of the outcome regardless of what it is. This balance helps us to stay energized while at the same time avoiding the trap of anxiety. Remember, gang, at the end of the day, control is an illusion. When we let go of our futile attempts to try and control everything, we find a surprising amount of peace. Desire, fear, and motivation. Desire can be a double-edged sword, and I think Anthony DeMello explains this better than anyone. Do not suppress desire, because then you would become lifeless. You'd be without energy, and that would be terrible. Desire in the healthy sense of the word is energy, and the more energy we have, the better. But don't suppress desire, understand it. Understand it. Don't seek to fulfill desire so much as to understand desire. And don't just renounce the objects of your desire, understand them. See them in their true light. See them for what they are really worth. Because if you just suppress your desire and you attempt to renounce the object of your desire, you are likely to be tied to it. Whereas if you look at it and see it for what it is really worth, if you understand how you are preparing the grounds for misery and disappointment and depression, your desire will then be transformed into what I call a preference. When you go through life with preferences, but don't let your happiness depend on any one of them, then you're awake. That's powerful. Gang, when you understand what motivates you, your energy is aligned with your values, and your anxiety takes a back seat. Because it becomes less about obtaining the objects of your desires and more about just the joy of pursuing them. 4 practical steps. So firstly, we need to identify what truly matters. Take some time to reflect on what truly matters to you. Journal the top 10 things in your life that mean the most to you and place your focus and energy into them. Once you have journaled the top 10 things, look at them, reflect on them, And think about what that says about you at this point in your life and your values.
I gotta do it, man.
Also, use this list and the entirety of your journal as a guide throughout your life to remember what is important. As you evolve, allow it to do the same. As you grow, so will your values and your interests. Okay, so everything else that's not on this list, it's okay to let it go. Not everything deserves your mental and emotional bandwidth. Secondly, gang, we need to practice saying no. Get comfortable with saying no to things that don't align with your values. Remember, every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're really saying no to something that truly matters. Thirdly, channel your desire. Direct your desires towards things that genuinely fulfill you. This might be a passion project, like spending time with loved ones or working on personal growth. And lastly, embrace a drop-it attitude. Meister Eckhart said very beautifully, God is not attained by a process of addition to anything in the soul, but by a process of subtraction. When anxiety starts to creep in, remind yourself that it's okay to let go. Ask yourself, is this really worth my energy? If not, give yourself permission to drop it and move on. I promise, if you implement these 4 steps, it will significantly reduce anxiety and maybe even change your life. Gang, this whole approach has made a huge difference in my life, and I think it can do the same for you. Don't be afraid to let go of things that don't serve you and focus on what truly matters. At the end of the day, a little bit of apathy, or perhaps we should say selective energy, can go a long way in creating a life that's motivated, fulfilling, and free from unnecessary anxiety. So take some time today to focus on what truly matters to you and let go of the rest. Here at Brent Lab, we blend physical fitness, mental health, and spiritual principles to help you overcome anxiety and lead a more fulfilling life. You can think of us like your personal trainers for anxiety. We can connect, we can coach you, and we look forward to getting to know you and walking this path together. Remember, so much of what we worry about is objectively unimportant. And after some soul searching, we often realize it's also personally unimportant. I'll see you in the next video. Stay strong and keep experimenting.